Hello, everybody. I am Peter Travers. This is Popcorn, where we tell you what's happening at the movies. And Call Me By Your Name is a movie that is one of my very top favorite movies of this year. It is, to me, great in every way. It's not a strange thing for a critic to say, but I'm saying it anyway. It gets to you because it's about first love, heartbreak, everything like that. Luda Guadagnino, who directed it, did a great job. Armie Hammer is in it and doing a great job. And my guest today, Timothée Chalamet.
Thank you for having me, Peter. And I can't believe I didn't ask you before. Is this real popcorn?
It's real popcorn, and you can eat it.
Fantastic.
And so I'm going to ask you, even before we talk about Call Me By Your Name, is that you have so many names. Mm-hmm. You're Timothy, and because your dad's French, are you really Timothée?
It's supposed to be Timothée, but that always just seemed like too obnoxious a requirement to put on people. So Timothy, Tim, Timmy,
After
Doug,
your third
Max,
Oscar,
Alex,
you can go back to Timothée. I think it's
good.
Oh,
God.
Then I saw some interview with you where someone from China had said your name translates as sweet tea.
Well, in Chinese, it's Tian Chen, I think,
Chen.
is the closest translation, so I've been told. And that translates closely to sweet tea. So
sweet tea.
Now everywhere I go with Luca and Army, that's become my nickname. No complaints.
Sweet tea.
Sweet
and
tea.
then in your rapper days.
God.
Yeah. No? Little Timmy Tim?
I'm never going to escape that.
No, that's everywhere now.
I know. You know what? It's kind of like a relief in some way, because I felt like maybe there was a certain pressure that I had to like develop a British accent and become like a thespian or something talking about this movie. But now that they're... and certainly I do think I am, but not to that vocabulary. So
what do they call you at home, your parents?
Timmy.
Timmy.
Yeah. That's always been like a nice barometer to see. Like if somebody shouts Timmy across the room, it's like, family member, someone from the get-go. And Timothy's more like, whatever works, really. I'm not particular about these things at all. I'm shocked you even want to speak to me.
Well, this can't be. I mean, because it's kind of a Timothée Chalamet film festival this year. I mean, Lady Bird.
Yes.
You're also in that. You're in Hostiles, So anytime you turn around and look at him, why weren't you in Dunkirk? I just don't understand why you're not in all of the movies that will be nominated.
I was in Interstellar. I had a small part in Interstellar.
You did. So you had
Chris Nolan film. And I was saying to you before, I got to see him the other night, and I said, hey, I love Dunkirk so much, and I love that there were 16 male roles in there, and I never auditioned or anything. No, I said jokingly, and he laughed, and he said, for British audiences, British characters are sacred ground. And that's totally understandable, so maybe there'll be something else.
Well, you could do British, you could do French, you could do
Italian. That's the hope, and certainly that's hopefully a challenge I'll get to meet at some point, but nothing on the radar in that regard, too.
Well, yeah, there is.
Keep talking, I'll ruin the movie, so go see the movie.
But what about in terms of your family? What did they say to you? Because I'm more interested in their reviews than anybody.
Well, for my dad, it was an especially surreal experience because I spent my summers in France growing up, and that's very much never been the outgoing, actorly, like, performative part of me. In France, the way, like young people, young people aren't the center of the attention in the room in France. The way, like, in the States, you can have an 8-year-old doing something cute in the middle of the room. So it's been surreal, I think, for the both of us that there's a weird French through line through the film, this performance, that there's many languages in it, because I guess I just never thought that the acting part of me would have that part of it too. But my parents have been proud. I got really, really lucky with my parents. I've gotten to work with other actors, or even my discussions with Armie and the way his parents thought of his acting, or his decision to pursue an acting career. That's not been my experience, and I'm really lucky in that regard.
Well, you are, but any movie because to me this is a sensual movie, not necessarily a sexual movie. Everything seems to be eroticized, even,
no, it's true.
You just walk around and that's
Luca.
it. It's the summer. It's Luca. That's
right.
Who he is, He's everybody.
No, it makes me think of, I hope people have seen this film, and if they watch this, but in I Am Love, there's this amazing shot of Tilda Swinton making love in the grass, and there's flies, and that's really like a testament to Lucas filmmaking, this idea that things just breathe into each other, and the characters bleed into one another, and you can't really tell what's one sequence and what's another, and the food is a character, and the house is a character, and the setting is a character. So to get to be a part of that at a young age, it seemed like a no-brainer.
What always gets me about this breakthrough for you,
right,
as somebody who has seen you on stage in Prodigal Son, and to look
wow,
at that.
I didn't know that. That's
to,
awesome that you saw that.
To
Peter.
look at that John Patrick, when you're playing him,
right?
You know, I just remember that line. Do you remember 15? Do
right.
you remember what it is to be this age to do it? But at your age, to give that quality of a stage performance at that is pretty staggering. And then you do a movie like Miss Stevens, which comes in, people haven't seen it, but if they should, and then you do Biff's monologue from Death of a Salesman and wipe everybody out doing it. So people know you, they saw you on Homeland, right? They've seen you do other things like that, but they never saw you on stage because they couldn't. Right. And they probably haven't seen Miss Stevens. Right. So this is going to be the first time for a lot of people.
Right.
And I don't know, you seem to be somebody who is in a position to have a really long career in this business.
Well,
how do you think about when you
know,
try to
honestly, what I think about
career?
is the idea that Donald Trump is president and we might not be around in a year. And that's like genuinely the thought I have, which is it seems presumptuous or too quick to think like, oh, you know, I'm set for a period of time here. This film's gotten a rapturous welcome, but it hasn't come out yet, so we don't really know. Certainly the reception we've gotten thus far, I got to do a project, Beautiful Boy, last year that'll come out next year.
With Steve Carell.
With Steve Carell, and I don't think the ability to get that project or to be offered that role, I don't think would have happened without the filmmakers and the producers seeing this film. But I don't know, I try to take it like a day at a time, and the idea that it's a marathon and not a sprint, and I know for any actor, the prescription is to go up and down and up and down and up and down. So this is a great moment right now. I'm so happy to be doing this with a film that I'm actually proud of and I really like, and not, okay, whatever, I was going to get myself in trouble again there. I don't know, it's like, Peter, it's crazy for me to hear you say it like that, and I almost have to pinch myself because I've watched this show. I've watched the show in the back of cabs. I watched it online. I watched it on YouTube, and it's I don't want to say like vindicating or something because what is there to be vindicated about? But like I've been trying very hard not to do the things that are maybe financially a little more accessible or maybe make it on screens, like you alluded to Miss Stevens, and I'm so proud of that movie. I wish more people had seen that movie, and that's a movie that every actor in it, Lily Rabe, Lily Reinhart, myself, in Julia Hart's direction, like we gave everything. And that's what's so satisfying about this movie is we worked so hard on it, and like this story is so important for right now. It's an unabashed celebration of love in a time that is so cynical and sinister. Everything's like falling apart, it seems. So
there's something even more because you should. I mean, you still have this passion for something you did over a year ago.
No, absolutely.
Because it's there because of the commitment that's there. But Michael Stuhlbarg, who does, for those who haven't seen it yet, who does play your dad in this, Luca, the director, said, this movie is in a way an homage to fathers. Right. Because Michael has that wonderful speech where he says, follow your heart. Right. Do what you need to do. He's not criticizing you. He's saying, if you feel love, go after it and do it. And we live in a world that kind of says, no, do it by the way we say you should do it.
Yeah, or a world where it's, you're supposed to be averse to pain, particularly at a young age, and particularly like in a, masculo-characterized 2017 where like to feel anything is to be weak, and to be confused about what you're feeling or who you're attracted to is to not know yourself for a second. And it's too easy to point to the social media stuff. Like I get tired of hearing about that and everyone pointing to that, but it's true. Like if you have an image of yourself and an idea of yourself and you've already submitted to that at 16, 17, or 18, particularly when you're in show business and there's like a mirror put in front of you where there isn't usually at that age, like you have an idea of yourself and it's not fair to yourself. I mean, I have no idea who the man is I am today. They say the male brain develops until you're 25 and I'm 21. So who knows?
So you're just this amorphous mass of
who
something.
knows? I mean, I could be, for all I know, I might be in a psychiatric institution 6 years from now. So I'm like all over the place, Peter. I'm sorry, I'm like rambling. I'm like nervous to be up here with you. But sorry, what was the question?
No, but you seem like you have found your center, so that when you work, that's what it's about. And the rest of it is, in a way, noise.
Yeah, well, it's also
it has to be a little bit.
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's also the gift of the project. It's the gift of the mentors I have in my life. Like I feel like I have the greatest agents in the world. Where the idea has been to tell good stories with good filmmakers, not to become well known or make money. It's not about that. And that's the protection of the agents I have.
Do you get intimidated at all by the quality of the people you've been getting to work with, which is extraordinary?
Yeah, it is intimidating because I think like I just don't want to. I don't want to, you know, burnout is like too easy. It's too easy a way to put it. Like I did a, you know, kind of a round table with Gyllenhaal and Franco and Gyllenhaal and Franco, Jake Gyllenhaal, James Franco, right. Gary Oldman, Hugh Jackman, and Jeremy Renner. And I'm looking around there and I'm like, these are all guys I've been looking at and studying and admiring, you know, for. I saw The Dark Knight, that made me want to act. And they were saying things like, you know, somebody asked them the question, like, where were you guys at his age? And it was either drama school, not where he is, not where he is. And there's a great feeling to that, okay, great, I'm here, or at least I'm here for the moment. But I do not want to be one of these, I don't want to flame out or anything. You know, the roadmap for young male actors is maybe, or just young performers, period, is not the strongest. I'm being a little rambly, but I wanted to say this before, too. What's nice about, you know, doing all this stuff for the first time with this film, I was talking about this with one of my best friends recently, and doing the press stuff around it like this is, I don't feel like I am making a leap when I'm presenting myself. I'm not in service to the commercial or whatever property is that I'm playing, but rather this is, you know, this is like who I am or something, or at least that's who I am today. So, if that makes any sense.
Well, it does make sense, but it's that you can function within it, within the level of intimidation. I mean, even Chris Nolan is somebody that you may have had not the big starring role in Interstellar,
right.
but you're the son of Matthew McConaughey's character, and you're working with this kind. And now you're working with Greta Gerwig, who is basically just starting her career as a director to do that. And it's not the leading role. And you don't seem to be afraid to take parts that saying, even if I'm in it for 3 scenes, it's worth me having this experience.
Oh man, Peter, you make me feel so good, and like this is gonna be so hard not to speak in like self-aggrandizing or self-prophesizing terms, which I really try not to do. But to hear you say it like that, it's so satisfying, because that's why I did a part like I did in Hostiles, which isn't like a huge part or anything, but I wanted to watch how Christian Bale works on a set for a month and a half, because he's an incredible actor. And sure enough, there are things I can, you know,
steal.
Not necessarily steal, but just even the, you know, the idea that it's a marathon and not a sprint, and the way he shows up on set every day and he's ready to go, and he doesn't reach for anything in a scene, which is, you know, the privilege of getting to be leads in a movie for 20, 30 years, but as a young actor, you know, you're reaching all the time, and so to watch him go to work, that was an insane experience, and it's something I'm totally happy I did, even though the role's not huge, but I just wanted to be around those veterans and those greats. And weirdly, when I'm in a scene with like Christian Bale or Steve Carell or McConaughey or Saoirse, when you watch people so closely, you know how good they are, it almost takes the pressure off a little bit. There's a documentary named Supermensch or something about that legendary manager, and he said something about like less known people being in pictures with very well known people, and how it always has a better effect on the less known person, because the well known person looks like they're with a rando. And to that degree, you feel like you have to do less in scenes with them, because they're just, I've seen them in so many things and seen them being interesting when they're not really doing anything.
Well, Saoirse's kind of your age.
Yes.
So it's, you know, and yet has this tremendous ability to make the noise go away and focus on what's happening.
Yeah, and like, that was the gift of working with Saoirse at that age on Lady Bird, but also Lucas Hedges, who's my age, who was in Manchester by the Sea, is that, you know, they're very much work-first actors, which seems like cliched or something, but it's true. And with Saoirse, what's so insane is the egolessness, which is, I guess, something you hear a lot too, but it's just, that it's so intimidating. I mean, if she walked around swinging her shoulders a little bit more, it'd almost be easier, because she's the big dog on set, and she was the lead, but she was, and also the role in that movie, I'm supposed to be kind of an object of desire, or at least an object of aloofness, or somebody with a sense of superiority. That was tough as hell with Saoirse, because I don't feel any of that with her. It's certainly our relationship in real life did not play out at all like that. And so that she came over one day, she said, oh, you know, we're all going to get drinks after work today if you want to come. And I said, oh, you know, well, I don't have a fake ID. She goes, oh, you don't have a fake ID? And I said, no, you know, what's the rush? She said, what's the rush? And then she walked away, and I kind of want to go, yeah, no, come back. Like, please think I'm cool, you know? Like, totally made myself not cool to her. So, yeah, Saoirse is an incredible actress that is as good when you're working with her as when you're watching her.
This is the first time you've been here, so
Right.
don't know that we end in song.
Oh, we do end in
We
song.
end in song. I like how you said that too, because you're.
So you're gonna join me?
I would, if I knew it, I would. You know, but you know, I remember what was that song? It was from America.
Oh,
Miss
yes.
Stevens. What was it?
Down, 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 down.
Meet me in the middle.
Yeah, will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the air? Will you love me just a little? Just enough to show
you care.
You care.
Yes.
So I tried to fake it. I don't mind saying I just can't make it. Da, da, da. By the way, that's one of the scenes in Miss Stevens I watch, and I go, "Bring it in, Timmy, bring it in, stop it, stop, bring it in."
Don't make
That's
it
like the
happen.
one scene in the movie. I'm like, oh.
No, I think the
anyway.
next thing you'll be doing is a musical.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I hope I didn't just. Anyway.
Well, no, because I saw stuff of you where you were in Sweet Charity.
Oh,
when you were, and you know,
man, Peter, you know,
I
you've
know
seen
what
it.
happens. I've seen that.
Sweet Charity was a production I did in high school.
I know.
And it was at LaGuardia, and like we really did.
I'm
like
a
a great
completist
job.
now.
You're a completist.
I'm a completist in terms of Timothy Chalamet.
There's a guy named Nardwar online, and he does interviews where he like will bring things out of people's past, and they're always on camera. They're always like, "Where did that
Where
come
did
from?"
you get that from?
And I'm surprised you saw that Sweet Charity video or had any awareness.
Well,
that
I
did that
just think
musical.
it's all going to happen for you. So good. It's all good.
Hopefully.
Great to
Thanks,
see.
Peter. This is so
Great to
cool being
see
here,
you.
man. Seriously, thank you.
You are.